Hello, everybody. Welcome to Formula Drift Japan. We are here at round 3 of the Formula Drift International Championship. And I am Jared Dienda, and Ryan Sage is sitting next to me, and we're talking about drifting. It's all about qualifying. Ryan, great to see you, and obviously great to be here in Japan.
Yeah, super stoked to be back out here in Okayama. It's been a while. I didn't come last year. I was here the year before when it was actually snowing outside.
Yeah.
But it's hot and humid, and we're prepared for the final World Championship round of the season so far. And we've got some pretty heavy hitters out here, along with 40-plus Japanese drivers and other drivers from around the world. So it's looking to be an awesome weekend.
So you talk about backtracking. This is our final World Championship round, but backtracking to our first one, Ebisu. Unfortunately, couldn't be there. Alexi, a.k.a. Narayoro, held it down, and I watched it, and it was a phenomenal event. I unfortunately couldn't make it. I had a conflict as far as schedule goes. But Ebisu, really cool track, dynamic track. Mad Mike takes it to the top. Let's talk about that, because the World Championship round, and this is another World Championship round, the final one. We have 2 more rounds of the domestic North American Championship. But Chris Forsberg's here, and he's obviously a contender.
It's obviously no secret that Forsberg is out here to push for that World Championship title. He's quite a ways away in front of the other contenders, which is Mad Mike Wadette, Matt Field, and Andrew Gray in the overall point structure. So Chris is looking to qualify here to kind of cement that. Right now, currently, he has 419 points to Mad Mike's 227. So he's got a bit of a buffer there. He would need to falter pretty heavily in the next 2 rounds after this event in order for Mad Mike or Matt Field to make up some ground there. But nonetheless, the competition that we're going to have here this weekend, we'll see how everything shakes out for the World Championship. So Chris obviously hedging his bets here. But drivers just need to compete in one of the 2 Japanese rounds in order to qualify. So that's the reason why he's here. Mad Mike doing both of them along with Andrew Gray. And then Matt Field, of course, did Ebisu for round 1.
All right, so again, we are going to the world. Let everybody know you can watch FormulaD.com and see the drift stream, the live stream, and Ryan Sage and I will be your tour guides. We have our Japanese correspondents and our panel of judges. Our panel of judges being Ryan Lontaine, Andy Yen, and then Robin Nishida. Robin Nishida, who's obviously a driver in the States. Now he's a judge here. He does, I think, a really good job here. He is our line judge in particular. But I think him being a driver so closely, just as recent as our last round of competition, it's great to get his insight being a judge.
Extremely relevant to the overall understanding of where the series is right now from a judging perspective and criteria perspective, and obviously able to give a driver's look into things, and the fact that he is Japanese, he speaks Japanese and English perfectly, can communicate in a way that really helps both sides understand what we're looking for. And so we had a great drivers meeting yesterday and also one this morning to kind of go over the details. We'll talk a little bit more about the specifics of what each judge is looking for in particular, but it's a really dynamic course. This, I think we've said, is kind of like the Road Atlanta of Japan, because you have a really cool kind of auditorium style type setting. You start and finish almost in the same place, and it's really, really fast. It makes for some awesome tandem. We saw incredible battles here in the years past and in the year prior to that, and I imagine that we'll see the same thing here this weekend.
It's forgiving if you go off on entry. We saw a lot of cars go into that kitty litter, onto that first rear clipping zone, but the most unforgiving spot is when they shoot the gap, when they shoot that hole. There's an unforgiving wall there.
Yeah, and as we take a look at the course, you'll see that as the drivers come out through the chicane, it's a pretty long run up. So this is going to be an 85, 95, 100 mile per hour entry for some drivers. The first thing you're doing is shooting towards an outer zone. Then you come back across the middle of the course and hit an inside clip, shoot for a second outer zone, which is very similar to Montreal's touch and go. And then you'll head towards that wall, as you say, for the third and final outer zone. You come through a really interesting keyhole and then wrap around to the final inside clip.
So we'll break down the course throughout. We didn't have an overhead shot of the course, so here we go. In our first rear clipping zone, it's Kubo. Not getting all the way out there now, just massaging it, dropping into that rear clipping zone. Nice job by Kubo. Transitioning past the first front clip. Now into that second rear clipping zone. So shooting that gap, that's that unforgiving wall that could really strike a chord. Now past that final front clip, and there is the finish line. As soon as you see the rumble strips end on the left and begin on the right, that is the finish line. So you got to power through that. So Ryan, again, point out the rear clipping zones and the front clipping zones.
So Kazuhiro Kubo, his first appearance in Formula Drift Japan this year, you'll see is he comes down this long straight here, quite a ways away into initiation. You can see the 3-2-1 cones there. Now the first outer zone is going to start right about there. You can see that green cone giving the drivers a marker. That is the first inside clip. There's the second outer zone there, and then the third outer zone coming through this keyhole area there. You can see Kubo made a little bit of an adjustment, a mistake coming through that center section, and it takes quite the commitment to get all the way out to that third outer zone, and then there you go, crossing the finish line. So Kubo won in the books. We'll move on to the next driver.
Some of the dialogue that happened in the drivers' meeting, Ryan, between Nishida, Lantane elaborates properly, so as does Robin Nishida. Andy Yen just, kind of sits there and his thoughts are given to the other judges to elaborate on. One thing that they really focused on was don't focus so much on the entry. Yes, we're about 5 accumulative, 10 accumulative points on entry, but overall, don't make your entry so big and sensational, because there's other sanction bodies that really focus on the entry. It's about the whole track and taking into consideration all the rear clipping zones.
Yeah, it's not
and not
don't do a big entry. It's don't do a big entry and then neglect every other part of the course. That's the key. That's the key there, because some guys were doing a very early entry and then not hitting the first outer zone and then getting out of whack and offline for the rest of the course. So if you're going to do that big entry, one of the suggestions is, hey, initiate a little bit later, maybe at that one cone, so you can accumulate enough speed to still hit the outer zones, and then we'll be happy with you.
Right. And also they were talking about don't throw a big angle, big entry and lift and then back on throttle. They're really stressing being on throttle consistently. That was something that struck a chord.
Getting back on throttle as soon as possible,
right.
Not letting the car float into the outer zone, as we see Kubo here coming in with a 61.
All right, Kazuhiro Kubo with a 61, the Car Relax S13. Scores a 61. They could see line judge. That would be Robbie Nishida. Robbie is the line judge. And then how did we allocate the judges in particular?
Style, Yen, Angle, Lantane.
All right, here we go with our next driver, Emeril Norden in an S13. Coming to that first rear clipping zone, works it in. You can see him throwing more angle at it, getting out to the rumble strip. Nice job. You can hear the exhaust note. Run through, dropping down the RPMs. Oh, big hesitation there, and you saw him straightening, shooting the gap. Now finally, good execution on that final clip. But that hesitation, I think he got nervous. He puckered up there when he shot through, as you call it, the keyhole. I'm calling shooting the gap, whatever you want to call it. It's the hole in the fence.
Second driver to have a little bit of an issue there. This is also the first time that we've seen Emeril Norden in FD Japan.
Yep.
You can see he does a pretty decent job getting out to that first outer zone there. Now the judges are just asking for the rear of the bumper to be right out on the rumble strip, on the edge of the rumble strip. You don't need to go past it into the dirt or anything like that. Just on the edge of the track, right where it meets the rumble strip, and that will be acceptable for maximum points. So our first look there at Emeril Norden. And
Norden's from Malaysia, correct?
I believe so. Not 100%, but...
Yeah, a lot of these drivers, I've seen them on the internet or seen videos, or I'm seeing them for the first time, me personally. But they have a following in their respective countries, so it's great to see the diversity. They call this the Chaser Cup. There's so many chasers, JZX 100s, but it's good to see the variety of international flair. And there it is, Emeril Norden with a 52 for the S13 of Emeril Norden.
Hi.
Next up, Yoshikazu Kawakami, the Origin Laboratory, Sunoco, S chassis. So that S chassis Sylvia awaits on the start line. Nearly 100 degrees Fahrenheit yesterday. Today a little bit cooler, and there's a breeze blowing through, so it's going to clear out the smoke. As there we go, coming into view. Nice job. Oh, but then shuts it down. Losing power? Yeah, it doesn't sound right. Great looking car. Just oozing that J style. That's truly an inspiration for a lot of the drift fans around the world, but that will be a 0 for Yoshikazu Kawakami. in the Origin Laboratory Racing with Sunoco.
So taking a look, a second look here at Kawakami, you can see just shutting it down there. Pretty simple one to call. He'll have another opportunity as he makes his way back to the grid. We'll move on to the next driver, but he will have one more opportunity.
Oh, I forgot to do my Ohio Gozaimasu on the opening. Sorry, I let you down, Ryan. Ohio Gozaimasu. Around the world, Formula Drift Japan. We are live at Okayama International Circuit, and we will be streaming live again tomorrow, the main day. Go to FormulaD.com. Share the link. Let everybody know you're watching. I know we kicked things off here. It was midnight on the East Coast, 9 p.m. on the West Coast. So thank you for tuning in if you're in the States or anywhere around the world. Well, here we are, our first JZX 100, the Yes Power Chaser of Mitsuru Yoshioka. Car looked great yesterday, and you can see that front bumper took a licking, but kept pushing around the track. Big angle, filling it. See, he hit that first rear clipping zone on entry. Getting a little out of shape here, throwing more angle on it, and salvages something, straightening, counters. That's going to be a 0. I saw a quick strike at the pen from Andy Yen. So I think that's truly what the judge was talking about. Don't completely throw the book at the initiation. You saw him get into the rear clipping zone early, but didn't stay in it.
Exactly correct. You can see coming down this long front straight, he heads into initiation. Now he does a bit of a late initiation there past the one cone, but even with that, he's not able to reach out to that zone, fill it properly. And then you can see he goes back and forth here, and then he's going to make almost probably a bigger mistake here by almost going off course, losing drift, and then going the other direction. So that's going to be an opposite drift. I will almost guarantee you that's going to be a 0. So unfortunately for him, a tough start for Yoshioka. But again, he will have one more opportunity as he makes his way back to the grid, try to figure out what he can improve on for run number 2.
And there it is, make it official. Mitsuru Yoshioka gets a 0 on his first run. Akihiko Hiroshima and the D-Friends S15 Sylvia is next. You can see it on the start line. You can see some of our U.S. officials. Kevin Wells there. Might be playing Pokemon Go, unfortunately, though.
I think we skipped over Hiroshima.
No, that's what I just said. Akihiko Hiroshima.
Okay, they put the wrong graphic up.
Yep. D-Friends. Sylvia S15.
Oh, yeah, there's Big Kev.
Big Cave playing Pokemon Go in the background right now. We were sitting up in the lounge earlier, and he saw he got challenged for a gym. So he went down there and beat the dude up. Not physically, but in the gym. He got down.
It's tough.
Yeah, Kevin Wells. Dr. Pepper crushing, Pokemon Go playing, maniac. All right, here we go. Leaving the start line. The Sylvia S15 of Hiroshima. Let's see how he executes this rear clipping zone. Nice job. Does he stay in it? Yes, he does. Let's counter past that front clip. You can hear the exhaust note. Very consistent, smooth, shoot in the gap. Could this be our new leader? Good, nice swing. Very fluid, Ryan. Not chopping it up, making it look. That's another thing that the judges talked about, making it one consistent, solid, fluid run, not chopping up the track and really, executing. Great job.
So Hiroshima getting off to a good start here. You can see they had the wrong graphic up for him, but this is Hiroshima. Good initiation here. A little bit of e-brake pull. Gets himself out on throttle to that first outer zone. Just getting that back bumper right up on the rumble strip. Nice transition there into the first inside clip, then the second outer zone, and nice fluidity, as you mentioned, through that center section there, and then back around to the last final clip. So I have to imagine this will be our number 1 qualifier so far with the high of 61. But a decent start there for Hiroshima.
Visually it didn't look the fastest run, but it was very smooth. So, and that's what the judge talked about. Don't, if you're not potentially the fastest, just put the car in the right places, and that's exactly what he did. There's a 71, our new leader. That is Hiroshima. Shout out to the Goosh. The Goosh is loose, and he's watching at home. Ken, thanks for watching, and we'll make sure to pass along the note to Kevin Wells to stop playing Pokemon Go.
Oh boy.
Ryan, favorite Japanese food? Go.
I mean, when I come here, I always have to have ramen.
It's just too good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there's some good ones back home, but not where I live. So,
okay,
if it's if it's time to eat ramen, we're gonna get down.
Yep. The curry game. I know Sully Life. He's a fan of the curry whenever he comes out here. But yeah, I say ramen, noodles, all of it.
Last time Mr. Iwata took us to, I mean, this is going to be crazy to say, but
Iwata is who?
He is the owner of Formula Drift Japan.
All right. Just want to elaborate for those folks
yeah.
who might not know.
Yep, that's right. Took us to a Japanese pizza place.
Yeah?
Which was quite interesting.
How was it?
Pretty good. It was for Big Kev, obviously.
Big Kev, Kevin Wells. Here we go. Moving on to our next driver. Nice job into that rear clip. Wow, getting all the way out there, dancing in the dirt. You can see just a tinge of dust being thrown up, riding that razor's edge. Nice job through, shooting the gap. Much more aggressive, kind of wild-looking run. Not as smooth as Hiroshima. And this is Hanazam. This is Hanazam.
No, this is Saito. Pretty sure. Motis, right? See, Motis, 73.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah.
Akua Saito.
Bearing no brother or relation to Daigo Saito, but certainly driving pretty aggressively here. You can see reaching out to this first outer zone. Just drops that tire a little bit there. Comes out of the zone slightly bit early, but staying aggressive through that first inside clip. And then right there you can see he gets into that second outer zone a bit early, comes out of it a bit early, but really like the way that he's driving in terms of his overall aggression, throttle control, things like that. Just got to kind of tighten up some of the more specific criteria, the line, and some of the fluidity through that center section. But overall, pretty decent run for him.
The car had a good squat to it. Seemed like it was squatting. You saw it really kind of navigating. It's funny you bring up Saito. Daigo not competing here. Daigo Saito not competing at Okayama this round. Yes, he did prepare a vehicle for Chris Forsberg to rent for the weekend, but Saito not partaking.
And Daigo, he competed at Ebisu the last round in Sam Hubinet's old Challenger. And blew it up on the second run. So
Pow. Now it's a big paperweight, just sitting in his garage alongside, from what I understand, quite a few vehicles if you've seen the different articles. Mitsuru Murakami. Mitsuru Murakami, Clubman S, S15 Sylvia. Love the Sylvia S15s. So unfortunate that we never got them in the States. Great looking cars. All right, let's see Mitsuru, see what he's got. Good initiation, throws it out. You see just a little bit of wavering. Now past that front clip. Nasty flick there. You can see an e-brake yank. Fluid through the course, but not exactly getting the car where it needs to be in order to accumulate some of those points.
Well, especially for the angle judge, Andy Yen, definitely putting a lot of points from inside clip 1 into outer zone number 2. 10 points there for him. You can see Murakami getting a decent start here, but lacking the angle as he gets into inside clip number 1, or outer zone number 1 rather. Doesn't fill it all the way either. And then as he gets into outer zone number 2, a little bit of a better job there, but taking a slightly shallow line coming through the final section and that third outer zone. And then right here, probably the easiest part of the course, that last inside clip, decent job there. And he'll have one more shot, but he'll get a full pull, and we'll see where that lands him into the ranking so far.
All right, Mitsuru awaiting his score. You can see it again. Rolling into that transition. This is from the other side of the track. The judges stand positioned. Basically, we're looking straight down and across the track from outside clipping zone 2.
That's our point of view.
That is our point of view, yep. And so that bridge there, the Yokohama, I should say the gantry. 63 for Mitsuru Murakami, the Clubman S15. Taraki Shimoda, S13 Sylvia. The S chassis is still popular here in Japan. It's great to see just like we said, about 40 cars here in qualifying, whittling down to 32 for tomorrow's head-to-head action. Instituting the start chicane, standardizing it from the Formula Drift stateside, or I should say North American Championship. Saw that kind of interesting initiation. Looking to our right now into that first rear clipping zone. Comes off a little early. Not big angle there. Straight lining it into that front clip. Having a difficult time, maybe just not enough horsepower really to rip through that gap and shutting it down. Smoke is still coming off the car, and he was not burning tire. I think
not the prettiest, as you would say.
Not the prettiest, as I've been quoted saying.
So here we go, taking a look at Shimoda one more time. Another driver getting pretty late into initiation, just actually slightly after that first standing cone, and that is the latest that you should be initiating to try and achieve as maximum points as possible. That angle lacking there on inside clip 1, and then the biggest trouble here coming through the center section. He's going to shut it down right about here, and unfortunately for him, I have to imagine that will be a 0 for Shimoda. And it is.
And that will be a 0 for Shimoda.
Now, a lot of people at home, Jared, might recognize this driver from drifting's history past.
Yeah.
Can you name that driver without looking at your sheet?
Ken Nomura, Nomakin.
There you go. Dunlop
with the Urus. Urus, his own company. Small little dude, big personality. We'll see if he has some big angle. What do you think? What? That's fact, right?
I thought you were going for a joke I was giving you. That was like a...
That was a complimentary cackle?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to front load that one.
All right, so insanity starting to set in. Here we go, Nomakin, a.k.a. Ken Nomura, that R34,
wow.
yanking of the e-brake. Man, he got a handful of it. Massages it into that first rear clipping zone. A slow transition. So really ticking the boxes here. Gets it properly out to the second rear clipping zone and through the keyhole, as you're calling it, and crawling past that final front clip. Wondering how the judges are going to look at that. That was a huge yank of the e-brake there on initiation.
Yeah, decent start here for Nomura. We'll take a look at this one more time as he comes out of the chicane down the front straight. There's that e-brake pull. Yeah, big e-brake pull there. He probably could have let go a little bit earlier, but he still would have been able to get out to that zone. He does a decent job there, but he gets into the middle of it. The judges would like to see you fill as much of the zone as possible, though much better job there on that second outer zone. Again, another middle line here through the section as he wraps around this last turn, and then finally in this inside clip. So decent job there from Nomuken, who puts run number 1 in the books.
Nomakin awaiting his score, and there it is. 69, dude, there for Ken Nomura, a.k.a. Nomakin. Great-looking car, the R34 four-door Skyline. Yoshinoro Koguchi. Koguchi, another Formula Drift legend. We've seen him around. Koguchi, just a stylish driver. Unique front bumper. I've never seen that front bumper Alexi was talking about. It makes it look like a Z. And that is a FT86, is the chassis, the GT86, the vehicle. He looks good earlier in practice. Can he put it down when it counts? Here comes Koguchi into the first rear clipping zone. Nice and fluid. Like you talked about, that squatting. Car squats down, first rear clipping zone, past that front clip. Working it properly. Powering through the gap. Nice job by Koguchi. Very fluid, really nice. Does that supersede a 71 by our current leader? That is Hiroshima. What do you think, Ryan?
Well, certainly looking very settled in the vehicle. He was one of the few drivers here that's actually been initiating between the second and first cone. You can see a lot of speed building up here. Initiates not a huge e-brake pull. but then he's still able to fill the zone. The judges just want to see you get that bumper right out onto that zone there as long as you possibly can. Probably could have gone into the zone a little bit longer, but certainly got it deep enough to receive a good chunk of points there. A good mid-high line coming through the keyhole there. Much better than we've seen people taking a shallow line there. Slightly off that last inside clip, but overall a pretty decent aggressive run. I'd have to imagine that will be up there with the better ones that we've seen thus far.
Does that better 71? It does. Kaguchi with a 77. Toyota 86, Team Drew P. A 77 there for Kaguchi and our new leader.
Gucci.
Gucci Wally Wally, Gucci Bang Bang. Nishida, everything good? Robbie, doing good over there, bud? He's really dialed in right now. He's really focused.
Very focused.
Lantain crushing some snacks, judging. Cooney, love this car, this Mark X. Very unique vehicle, factory that come with a V6. Cooney, exciting driver to watch.
I love Cooney.
But sometimes, like we said in Fuji last year, just didn't work out for him. But a fun-loving guy, and he's about to put it down. Here we go. Kuniaki Takahashi, a.k.a. Cooney. Big angle. Big smoke. Big angle here on that first front clip. Flicking into that second rear clipping zone. You can hear him ripping through. Nice job by Cooney. Very exciting, I would say. Like to see him fill a little bit more of that rear clipping zone, but very exciting to watch.
Yeah, big plume of smoke here washing through the venue right now from Cooney, especially coming into that first outer zone. Like you said, Jared, just a little bit short there on that first outer zone, but the rest of the run was pretty decent. Let's take a look at it again here. Initiates into the first corner. Pretty decent job of using the speed of the vehicle and the angle to get into that corner, but just got the timing off a little bit. Wasn't able to get super deep into that zone, but back around here fills that second outer zone. And then right here, more of a higher line through that third and final outer zone, which is exactly what you want to see through that section there. And that's a bit more dangerous because you do have to contend with the wall. Finishes it up with that last inside clip. So good run for Cooney here as he'll put one in the books, and we'll see where that puts him into the overall qualifying order.
Yeah, fortunately for him, this will definitely get him in the top 32, which is good, and now one to grow on, right? As he will have his second run. Only 30 minutes of practice tomorrow, so these guys really got to work it out right now. Minimal practice time tomorrow for top 32, and drivers meeting tomorrow 7 a.m.
It's a much different. There you go.
82. Wow. So as we were kind of shooting holes in that first rear clipping zone, guess as I said in the drivers meeting, yes, have a good initiation, make it big, make it dynamic, but very excited to watch. And you saw angle judge Andy Yan focusing a lot of attention, as you said, past that first front clip into the second, and I think Cooney really. That's where he gained a lot of points.
There's 20 points after outer zone 1 and outer zone and the first inside clip and outer zone 2 for angle alone. So, if you're a driver, you're definitely taking a photo of what happens inside the driver's meeting. You have that for your spotter, let you know what you need to do, and you go out and you shoot for that 100-point run. You see where you fall short, and then you go and try to do it better on run number 2.
Tetsuya Iha, Top Tool Aristo, great looking car. Love those Aristos. They're done right. Great looking stance. Here we go into that first rear clipping zone. See, there's a quick little yank of the e-brake just to get the car in motion. See some correcting there. The white wheels pointing it out. You can see some corrections. Another yank of the e-brake. You can hear him lifting as he navigated in the gap. Some quick little flicks of the front wheels. Bless you.
Thank you.
So Iha puts a run down. Ryan?
Take a look at it again here on the replay. Iha coming down this long front straight here at this beautiful course. More of a straight line approach, a little e-brake pull there into initiation, then gets back on the throttle right away, reaching out to that first outer zone. Gets in the middle of it, doesn't get as deep as you'd like to see him or as long in that zone. So something to work on for run number 2. Better job there through the center section and that third outer zone, and then wrapping around this last inside clip and the finish line right there designated by the green cone. So run 1 in the books here for Iha. And he'll head back to grid, take notes, and figure out what he needs to do for run number 2.
Tetsuya Iha with a 75. A 75 for Iha. So 75 for Iha. Cooney stoked. 82.
Probably my favorite looking car out here.
Cooney's? Yeah. Yeah, it's only Mark X out here, so that's definitely cool.
And a lot of his personal cars look like that too.
Yeah. Could see the baby blue S15 Sylvia of Go Kamiya. No, excuse me. This should be Daisuke Nakamura. Daisuke Nakamura into the first rear clipping zone. Yeah, entering early, staying on it. You can see getting affected by getting into the dirt a little bit. But transitions past the front clip, really feeling a second rear clipping zone. A wide, oh, a little nervous there, shooting that gap, Ryan. Heading up the hill, and you know, you could tell just a little bit from that angle. There is an incline there. When they're powering through, they got to go up and navigate that climb.
Yeah, so let's take a look here at Daisuke Nakamura one more time. We'll take a look at his initiation first and then into that first outer zone, but he did have a little bit of a hiccup there coming through the center section on that third outer zone. Nice snappy initiation there, very minimal e-brake that you can see. Gets back on the throttle here, shoots out wide and just drops that tire there as he tries to fill that entire zone. Then into the first inside clip, good smooth transition there. And then right there, see, he makes a little bit of a correction coming through the center section, the keyhole area, wrapping back around to this last inside clip. Bit wide there, but still able to finish strong. So he's got run number one in the books, and we'll see where that slots him in to the qualifying order so far.
Ryan, this breeze definitely complimenting a beautiful day here at Okayama, and also clearing out the smoke so the judges can see. Yesterday it was very stagnant.
Yeah, absolutely. You need the breeze here to not suffer as well. It's about, for people that are not here, it's about 95 degrees with about 75% humidity, so it's not, you're not stoked. Especially you're not stoked if you're a driver.
68 there for Nakamura, Team Monpower S15. It's a cool shot there, just seeing our starter, and we're seeing that SOAR chassis, JZ Team Kazama Power Vehicles. Ben Williams. This is Ben Williams, originally from Australia. See what Ben Williams can do. The SOAR made really popular there by Ueno years ago. As here we go into that first initiation, rolling into it. Nice, gets out to that rear clipping zone. Yeah, no smoke, no dirt coming up. Big angle there from Williams. Shooting the gap. A little bit of lift there. You saw a correction. So that lift potentially shoot him off the line. You saw a quick correction. Gaining some applause from the fans here.
And some screams from the Japanese side of the commentary. I talked to Ben's team yesterday and asked them how they were doing. He just said, hey, you know what, we're doing the best we can on a very limited budget. We're out here to have fun, and we're going to keep making adjustments as we can. There's more track time we get. You can see he's starting off pretty decent here with run number one. Just gets right into it, no e-brake pull, reaching out wide in that zone, just right along the strip of concrete right up on there on outer zone one, then back around to outer zone two after making a nice transition on that inside clip and through the keyhole here. Just a little bit of an adjustment there, but overall a solid run for Ben as he rounds out run number one for himself, and he'll head back and see if he can do something better for run number two.
Does that better Cooney's 82? What do you think?
I'm going to say yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that small correction there, not big. It didn't throw him off too much. You saw a quick little stutter step. Ben Williams from Australia, 84. Look at you, Ryan. like you've done this before. 30, look at that, 30, 30, 24. So some big scores there.
Yeah, getting pitted.
I believe this is Kenji Yamada. And it is. We have a couple S15 Sylvias here down the line. Just want to confirm it. Hey. All right, here we go. Moving on. Kenji Yamada, S15 Sylvia. See some of the other drivers warming up. Looks like a Ford Mustang from the front, right?
I was totally thinking that.
Yeah. Yamada getting into the outside zone.
It looks like a Ford
big angle. It seriously looks like a Ford Mustang.
that you would see, like, you know, driving into the venue at Road Atlanta or somewhere in the
Right.
south.
Yeah, yeah, that's funny. Late entry, Doug Vandenbrink is here. Right, doesn't it, Andy? Doesn't it look like a Mustang from straight on?
Oh, man. Yeah, the
Yeah. It's like, it looks like Doug Vandenbrink's coming at us. But enough about it, what it looks like. What did the run look like in your eyes, Ryan?
Pretty good initiation right there. You can see right to angle, so the rate to angle was really good. I'd like to see a little bit more angle in that first outer zone, but he is able to fill it pretty decently there. Nice snappy transition, good fluidity through that inside clip, and then hitting that outer zone. Now he's going to be on a little tighter line here, so sacrificing some points on that third outer zone, but then finally wrapping it around that last inside clip nice and tight there to finish it off.
Today qualifying, kind of a casual Saturday. Motor Games is the whole event that goes on within, you know, basically Motor Games. Formula Drift Japan is part of that. We have the Offset Kings Car Show. We have Freestyle Motocross, a lot of activities. That's tomorrow is the main day. Today's all about qualifying. We saw GT86 Cup earlier, but obviously Formula Drift Japan overall part of Motor Games. Kenji Yamada, 76 for Kenji, 28, 25, and 23. You can see the scores. Real sensitive mics here, Andy. Very cool looking car here. It's just pronounced K. Kei Takanohashi. It's my attempt at pronouncing his name. I apologize if I did not execute that flawlessly.
I think you're pretty close. I remember that one from Ebisu. Takanohashi.
There you go. Man, Ryan, a regular Japanese speaking full.
Yeah, third time this year.
Yeah, a lot of travels for yourself. A lot heading over to the Middle East as well.
Yeah, it's been a long season, man. Not that I'm looking forward to getting over, but some normality would be nice.
Well, embrace the crazy, as my buddy says.
Yep.
Oh, the shark's in the water. The shark is in the water. I don't know if you guys have seen it back there, that the wild chaser.
Fake blower.
Yeah, the fake blower is the piece that was resistance. If the carbon fiber shark fin wasn't enough, the fake blower with the butterflies. Okay, so it looks like there it is. So there's K. So I said that we have a few S15 Sylvia, so I wanted to confirm that. So Kei Takanohashi. Next driver will be Taichi. RSR MIH Sylvia will be next. He's there. So here comes Kei in the top speed S15 Sylvia, leaving the start line. Okay, no? Okay, yes. Here we go. Lighten up the tires into that first rear clipping zone. Almost makes it all the way out there. Good angle. Into that second rear clipping zone. Nice job by Kei. And approaching the final front clip. You saw him kind of, yeah, I want to look at that again, Ryan. Did he have a straightening there? It'll be a deduction, not a total zero, but we'll see.
Take a look here at Takanohashi one more time as he comes through the chicane. You can see a little bit of a tendency developing here for a lot of the drivers, struggling with that outer zone 1 and outer zone 3. Here comes Initiate, little e-brake pull there, trying to set himself up, shooting out to this outer zone. Doesn't get as deep as you'd like. He comes out a bit early as well, wraps around that inside clip, and then right here on outer zone number 2, coming into outer zone number 3 through the center section here, and then final approach, just a little bit of hesitation as he comes back around, going from lock to lock there, and does not look like it'll be
not detrimental,
not a zero,
not
but
grenading the run. Yeah,
definitely a little deduction there.
All right, so 63 for Kay. Gained himself, you can see 24, 19, and 20, so lacking on the angle. Going to try to throw some more at it on his second run. I think we're hearing the whole Foo Fighters catalog being played here. Right?
Yep.
Or is it the same song and it's just on repeat?
Repeat.
Taichi Hisano. So now this Sylvia S15 is up. See, look at this shark in the background. Waiting to drift like. Oh, it's crazy. All right, great looking S15 Sylvia. Taichi Hisano. Little feint, flick of the wrist into the first rear clipping zone. Fighting the grip, works it out there. Nice angle. You can hear him lifting off the throttle, working it in there, throwing caution to the wind. Nice job there by Hisano. Like him to stay on throttle when he powered through the gap, but still a very fun run to watch.
So Hisano, run number 1 here, coming through the chicane. Cone structure down this long front straight here. You can see a bit of an unorthodox approach, taking that wide, going into the feint there, a bit of an e-brake pull. Now trying to shoot out wide to this first outer zone. Decent job there. Yeah, he gets the bumper right in the middle, rides it for a while, so good attempt there. Nice job on that second outer zone, but right here, a bit of a difference between him and other drivers. He stays deep into that third and final outer zone, and that's definitely what the judges want to see there. Some big emphasis on that section of the course. Able to hit that last inside clip and lay down a pretty solid run number 1 for Hisano.
And the judges were talking about that, slowing the car down with big angle, and Taichi does that. So 79, one of the highest scores we've seen out here. So Cooney still our leader with an 82, but 79 puts him currently just quickly glancing second. That's our number 2 score. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for the correction. Yeah, I apologize. Ben Williams. Ben Williams, our number 1 score, 84. Cooney with an 82. So third highest score from Taichi Hisano. Just quickly looking at the sheet here, so it got lost in the shuffle.
Unbelievable.
What do we got?
Oh, just these massive mistakes that you've been making.
Oh, that's it. Goodbye, world. Jumping off the stand here. All right, here we go. Big angle, working it, trying to get out there. Look at that. Oh, man. It looked like he was going to come up short, but makes it out there. Nice job. Standing on the throttle all the way through the gap. Some wavering, but then keeps it out there. Lift of the throttle past that front clip, but stands on it. So the S14, 1 via.
Of Nakamura, correct?
Yes.
So here we go. His run number 1 into initiation. A little snap there. Got set up a little bit weird, but like you said, as he made adjustments, he was able to finesse himself into that outer zone. He gets into it a little bit late, wraps into that first inside clip, now filling that second outer zone, coming through the keyhole here, looking to stay wide. It's on a midline here as he approaches the last and final inside clip. A little bit shaky here and there, but overall decent run for him. He'll get one in the books and try to shoot for a top 32 qualification position here.
That threw me off. The notes say S14. You look at the front end, that's S13 front end on an S14 chassis. And Tomohiro Nakamura with a 70. That's a 70 of the RocketWorks Supermade 1 via. It's times like these. It's times like these. Time and time again. I don't know what Tom just said over there in Japanese, but I swear it sounded like banana. Did you hear him? Mm-mm. Sounded like banana. Yoshinoro Shinozaki.
So no Yoshida, no Benjamin Chiam.
Yeah. No.
Done.
Done. Yeah, I was looking at notes here. So Yoshinoro Shinozaki, the Mark II, leading the start line. Yeah, I didn't think I saw Chiam on driver's list. I didn't think I saw him. Throwing more angle at it and working it out to the rumble strip. Using all of the course getting out there, then transferring past that first front clip. Into the hole in the fence, through it, and past the front clip.
So Shinozaki, run number 1 in the books for him. Let's take a look at it one more time. You'll see struggles a little bit with the first and second outer zones, but a decent run nonetheless as he approaches his initiation. Nice fluidity there, decent rate to angle, a little bit e-brake pulls. He tries to get the car set up here. He's going to get into the zone a bit early, or right on time, but then get out a bit early, and then he'll do the same thing on outer zone 2. You can see right here, just pulls out of it a little bit early. Much better job on outer zone 3 as he shoots up the hill here, wrapping around this last final turn and hitting that inside clip. And I have to imagine he's going to be in the 70 realm. 70s realm is going to be my guess.
7D. All right, Yoshinoro Shinozaki.
What's going on?
All right, so when we come back, we will continue a quick commercial break here, and we'll continue on with a second run with our remaining drivers here at G-Shock presents Formula Drift Japan at Okayama. I'm Jared Deenda, Ryan Sage. When we come back, more drifting. Talking about that World Championship, we are live at Okayama International Circuit. I'm Jared Deenda, Ryan Sage, my co-host, and we opened the show talking about the World Championship. Chris Forsberg currently leads, Mad Mike Woodett in second, a point gap 419 compared to 227.
Yeah, actually Matt Field is in second place, but I was just referring to the fact that Mad Mike is here.
Thank you. Yeah, Matt Field is currently in second, but as far as that point gap there. All right, here we go. Our next driver, this is Taniguchi. Atsushi Taniguchi. Into that first rear clipping zone, transitioning through. And shooting the gap, rear clipping zone as well, and approaching the final front clip. It's kind of lacking the angle, and then threw some more at it. Got really nasty with that transition.
Had a tougher time than we've seen from quite a few drivers on that first outer zone as well. Really not getting his timing right, or getting deep into that zone to maximize full points there, but I'm certain we'll take a look at it again, get a fresh view of it. Here he goes for run number 1 at Atsushi Taniguchi. Initiates here. Now watch, he'll try to get out to this outer zone, but he's really quite a ways away, not able to fill it quite completely. Nice snappy transition back around. Much better job on outer zone 2. Good throttle control through outer zone 3, even though he's on a middle line there. Tiny bit shaky, but he'll get a points total after run number 1. No problem there. We'll see if that is enough for him to hold off 8 other drivers fighting for those spots in the top 32 with 40 drivers in the field.
Atsushi Taniguchi awaits the score as we take a look at the replay again. JZX 100 Chaser awaits a score, and there it is. Taniguchi with a 77. A 77. You can see 29 from angle, so liking the angle there. All right, Kazuto Ichinagi. S13 waiting on the line. You can see a Mark II there waiting in the wings. And lights illuminating, and boom, extinguished. There we go, send it. S13 leaving the start line. Kazuto, first rear clipping zone, gets out to it, and nice job on the rumble strip. Big angle, zeroes in on that front clip. Nice job into the second rear clipping zone, shooting the gap. Woo! Garnering some raising of the voice from the Japanese drivers. Ryan, nice job. Really, the pucker effect in full effect there, approaching that wall. That was tight.
Judges did say make it look dangerous for maximum points in the style category in terms of commitment. And Ichiyanagi showing us how it's done here as he puts run number 1 in the books and starts off very solidly here. You can see nice initiation, little e-brake pull there, but the timing getting into that first outer zone looking real solid. You can see right there, back bumper just right on the rumble strips. Good fluid motion back around to inside clip 1, tight and deep into outer zone 2, and then right there into outer zone 3. Great job there, getting into that zone early and staying nice and tight to that wall, making it look really awesome as he finishes it up on that last inside clip. So no real complaints there around the board for him, and he'll lock in
84 and 84. So challenging Ben Williams for the lead. So an 84 for Ichiyanagi.
Solid run.
Solid run from the Ichiyanagi.
Yep. Oh, the famous Yamashita.
Yamashita.
Yeah, I think Gucci was the one that helped me with that pronunciation. Yamashita, I remember.
Yeah, yes. Yes, I do. Okay, yeah, I do. Great looking car. Brand new, clean, work, weld racing. This thing, we'll see if it puts it down. Big, nasty initiation there. Hear it blowing off into that first rear clipping zone. Woo! Saw a quick delay there. Sputtering on through, and man, this thing's making some bunch of noises coming off this thing.
Well, it looks like he sacrificed his line a little bit in outer zone 1 for that really quick rate to angle entry that he did. Very impressive, but like they said in the drivers' meeting, careful if you go that route not to sacrifice other parts of the track. So let's take a look here. Yamashita down this front straight. Really snappy initiation, quick rate to angle there. You can see a little twitching of the front wheels, but he's not totally able to reach out and fill that first outer zone. And that'll set up getting him offline a little bit. He's able to resurrect it there into outer zone 2, mid-high line into outer zone 3, and then the final corner back on track here. Nice angle, nice smooth transition. So just a little bit of work to do on that initiation, and if he's going to do it, put a little bit more speed into it potentially if he can.
You could do it, put some speed into it. 76, a 76 for great looking Mark II. Fukada up next. Tadahiro Fukada, RC Art Dream Team, Dunlop Tire. Fukada can throw down some serious runs. All right, here we go. Fukada in a Mark II. A big yank at the e-brake. Scrubbed a lot of speed there, but now works into that first rear clipping zone. I think if he didn't yank the brake as much, might have gotten into it. Fukada through the hole and past that front clip. A run nonetheless, but still I think a window of opportunity to, throw it out a little bit more on that second run.
Let's take a look at Fukada's run one more time. So he'll put one in the books here. There he goes, that initiation. Tries to do it real snappy, Jared, but not able to get the angle out of it that he wants. Hits the e-brake here. He'll come up a little tiny bit short on that outer zone. Right, actually, not. No, he was actually good on the outer zone. He just made a little mistake coming out of it in maintaining that consistency of angle, but just needs to get that back bumper right on the rumble strip there. You should be good to go and try to maximize the angle on that section of the course. But he's able to pull together a decent run through outer zone 2 and 3 and that last inside clip. But just got to work on that initiation and entry a little bit more.
69, a 69 for Fukada. There it is, the infamous shark mouth, shark fin, and now the non-working blower. It's completely just adornment.
It's an aesthetic.
It's an aesthetic. Got the one bloodshot eye on the, our left, his right.
The eyes are kind of like
kind of
little trance.
All right, blood in the water. Let's see how Masuda can do. Toshimitsu Masuda throws it in. See that trunk pop. Look at the shark fin cutting through the smoke. Masuda past the first front clip. Lifting of the throttle, then back on it. Very smooth through the hole. And powering up the hill. Pretty good run. Very quick run. Masuda just boom.
Yeah, known for getting aggressive. He's one of the guys in Saito's camp. They all drive pretty similarly, but another driver struggling with that first outer zone. We'll take a look at it again here as Masuda puts his in the books. Out through the chicane, get into the center lane here. Losing a little bit of rubber, initiates. Slight e-brake pull there as he heads to that outer zone. You see he's going to come up a bit short here, but he's on throttle all the way through, so very, very fast off there. We'll definitely work on that for head-to-head matchups. Back around to outer zone number 2. Fairly deep into that third outer zone. Good angle here as he finds his line to the last final inside clip. Nice job there. So just a little bit of work to do on initiation in outer zone number 1. Help me.
73. A 73 for Masuda.
C-Link doesn't want to hold up those scores for that long. It's kind of hard to write them down that fast. I can get the main one, but the other numbers are hard. Too fast.
And speaking Ryan's talk here as Kasahara, Masaki Kasahara on the start line. C-Link is our gentleman. That's his nickname we have for him. C-Link is our man that's running our live stream here.
That's right.
And C-Link quickly expedites the scores. Did you see him? It's quick.
That's it. That's all you get.
So you get. I don't care. All right, so Kasahara initiates. A lot of these guys doing that e-brake pull, getting it to rotate, and gets out to the outside zone. Whoa, big angle, throwing into the gap. Woo! No risk it, no biscuit there, and he risked it, but it came up roses. Nice job. I like that Kasahara throwing down into that outer zone. That was sick.
Yeah, a little fist pump here from Andy Yen over to the left. Kasahara definitely doing enough to impress him as the other judges write down their scores. Let's take a look at his run one more time here. So he'll head down in the center lane.
Yank of the brake.
Big e-brake pull there, but he's going to thread the needle here, that back wheel right on that outer zone. Like to see a little bit more angle there, but again, right here, this is probably the most impressive part. Throws lock into the car, boom, gets super deep into that third and final outer zone, and nice fluid transition back around. Snappy, looking good. A good first start for him as he'll put run number 1 in the books.
So, wow, big impact there. 29, 30, and 27. 86 for Kasahara. Great execution. That was exciting, man. And just think, if he dials in that first outside clipping zone, he'll have it made in the shade. Kenji Yamanaka, an old Formula Drift U.S. friend and part of the family. So Kenji Yamanaka in the Mark II Tomei Power top tool. There we go, Kenji. What do you got? Mark II working its way really on the track's edge. Zeroed in on that front clip. Flew it through the course. Kenji Yamanaka back across that final front clip and the finish line. Well done. Well done, Kenji.
Well, as you said, an old friend to the FD Series, did a stint back in the day, quite a few years ago, now spending the majority of his time here competing in FD Japan. Take a look at his second run here, or his first run rather. Down that long front straight. Good initiation there, a bit of an e-brake pull to get himself set up. Now looking for this outer zone one. Great angle here. Nice job by Kenji as he comes into that first outer zone, then that first inside clip. Gets that rear bumper right nice and deep into that second outer zone. Good line through outer zone number 3. And good fluid transition there to the final inside clip. So good first pass for Kenji Yamanaka. So I'm going to say 81.
81, that's what you're claiming? What? No way. You looked at it.
I swear my life.
Wow. Dude, Ryan, call him, what was Johnny Carson's name? The guy, the Sultan, or what? The Karnak. Karnak? Oh, well,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. That's old. That's an old guy thing. Yingxing Yan, a.k.a. Chicken Diarrhea is his Instagram handle.
A.K.A. Steve Choi.
A.k.a. Steve Choi, Steve the Beef. Literally his Instagram handle is Chicken Diarrhea.
Yep.
That is unbelievable.
But it is not. It is safe for work.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it's kid friendly.
Yeah.
I
There's
mean,
not actual chicken
yeah.
diarrhea on there.
No, it's clinical. All right, here we go. Yingxing Yin. Outside zone, dances with it. Gets into it later. Transitions. Oh, a lot of dirt being thrown up there by Yingxing Yin. And transitioning into the final front clip. Just whatever, dude. Yingxing Yin. His personality, it's funny when you meet him, it's just like, I'm like, how you doing? He's like, good, just hanging out.
Spends a lot of time at Ebisu with the
Andrew Gray,
infamous
Power
Andrew
Vehicles.
Gray, and also doing a Pro 2 stint in the States. So Yin definitely honing those skills, getting better round by round. Here we go. We'll take a look at run number 1. Into initiation here. Nice job staying off that e-brake. Trying to stay fully committed, reaching out to this outer zone. Just a little bit short, but probably enough to get a decent amount of points here. There you go. There's that little left tire drop right there. Then he tries to shoot out wide. He'll stay on a mid-high line into outer zone 3. Then the final turn here as he wraps it back around, trying to keep it smooth. And Yingxing Yan, run number 1 in the books for him. All right, you want another guess?
Yeah, what do you got?
70. Oh, I was going to say 74. I didn't have enough time.
I was going to say 73. Oh, it's 73. Look at that. So 73 for Yingxing Yin. Got a little leopard spot here, a little homage to, I would say Matt Powers, but I don't think that's why he did it. But not an homage, but reminiscent. Shout out to Pat Gooden. Pat Gooden's watching. Passionate Pat.
Sherilyn is watching as well.
Sherilyn.
Yep.
Sherilyn Hale.
Yeah, we've got a few handful.
Jin Harino. A handful of
Friends back home.
contingency of people watching at home. Well, thanks for tuning in. Tell a friend. All right, Harino goes into that first rear clipping zone. Looking solid. Big angle here.
Nice.
Right on the edge of the track. Well played.
Oh,
Off of that front clip, but tightens it back up to the second. Big angle. Through the gap as Harino brings it back into the final front clip. Scrubbing some speed there. Man. Almost as exciting as the livery on that vehicle. That thing is a busy graphic, but he put down a busy run there. I'd say left some points on the table. I like the angle, but could have made it tighter to that front clip, but still looked good.
certainly one of the more fun drivers to watch in practice. You never know what he's going to
Yeah.
do. He tries a lot of crazy things, big entries, and really pushes the limits here. You can see coming into the first turn here, he stays pretty stable. Not a big e-brake pull. Nice and deep into that first outer zone. Now, he does get a bit offline here, Jared, as you mentioned in that first inside clip. Back around to that outer zone, cleaning it up now. A little bit of a tighter, kind of a midline there through outer zone 3. Like to see him get a little bit deeper there, so leaving some points on the table. But overall, solid run as he'll wrap around that last and final turn there, hitting that inside clip. And there it is for Yin Harino.
Yin Harino 73, a 73 for the Ben Sopra.
All right,
Another 73. What do you got?
you got this pronunciation? This is another one I learned.
Kazuya Uzuka?
Iizuka.
Iizuka.
Like a double. Iizuka.
Okay. Thanks, bro.
I think I'm right. Pretty sure.
Yeah? Ken Gucci will text you.
Yeah.
Say you're wrong.
Like,
Or say you're right.
yeah, he'd be like, hey.
Depends on what kind of tears or vibes he's throwing out there. Is Iizuka. Iizuka. Kenda Tires getting lit up. You can see that squat. Big. That, just gotta love it, these big sedans. Past that front flip. Good execution through the gap. Man, I'm getting excited for tomorrow now. Just seeing these runs, because there's some drivers they'll put it out there. I'm not good in qualifying, but head to head, I'm not good head to head, but I'm good in qualifying. We're seeing a lot of good qualifying runs here.
Yeah, we are, and I definitely am very excited for tomorrow.
Woo!
Here we go.
How much squat that thing has.
Iizuka in run number 1 here, trying to impress the judges. Bit of an e-brake pull there, try to set himself up. Not staying on it too long though, but just dancing on that line right there, pretty deep into that first outer zone. Nice and tight on that first inside clip. Better job there on that second outer zone. Outer zone.
Out of zone?
Outer zone. I was thinking
Calbazar. What song was that? Remember that one?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember the band name. Calbazar.
Yeah. 75. 75 there for Iizuka. I mean, I love me some Foo Fighters. Saw them in their most recent tour with Dave Grohl.
We're going on about an hour worth of it now.
I saw him again when Dave Grohl broke his leg. He sat in the chair playing. I went to that concert, my wife and I, and but I don't know if I don't know if I could listen to it all day like we are right now.
I mean, it's what time did we start qualifying? It's been going on.
It's been a straight hour of Foo Fighters.
We should tell them.
Nah. All right, Taguchi, Kazuya Taguchi, Team Up Garage, Sylvia Satine, love this car. You talked about Cooney's car being one of your favorites. This is a close second for me. Smooth, very fluid, putting the car in the right places. Yew! Up Garage, ups the ante, dances with the grass there, doing a little bit of manscaping here. Nice job there for Kazuya Taguchi, the Up Garage S15 Sylvia.
So Taguchi looking very impressive here in his run number 1. Top score so far, an 86, leading the way by Kasahara. You can see getting into initiation here. I'd like to see him maybe get to angle a little bit quicker, but
yeah, kind of rolling into it.
He comes up a tiny bit shallow on that first outer zone. But right here, real impressive. Second outer zone, third outer zone, very deep there. Just barely missing it, but looking very solid relative to the other drivers. And then that final turn on that inside clip, nice way to cap it off for Taguchi.
Looks like he's having fun out there. 76 for Taguchi. It's times like these, you learn to live again. It's times like these, you learn to love again. Can I get a witness? Kazuki Hayashi. D-Max S15, you can see the chrome nose of Yokoi, Masashi Yokoi in the background. Saw him in Formula Drift US a few years ago. Was it last year? As recent as last year, excuse me. All right, big feint entry here, throws it in. Minimal, if at all, any handbrake. Standing on the throttle. Nice job there. Sounds like a killer bee swarm coming at you. Liked it. Very smooth, very smooth.
Hayashi keeps it real. There's no doubt about it.
Keeps it real, son.
Yeah, he kills it.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at his run here one more time as his D-Max buddy will be up right after this run. You can see very fluid initiation, right to lock, deep into that zone. He's got that first part just dialed.
Yeah.
Tight on that inside clip, back around, good fluid motion in that second outer zone. Shoots out pretty wide to that third outer zone, keeping it big angle coming out of the keyhole there. Then the final turn, I mean, not a lot to nitpick here. That was a solid run. That's going to be up there contender-wise. 86 plus. I'm going to say 88, 87.
Wow,
New
going all the way up there?
Oh.
Ryan claims right now. Not claims, prophecies. Thanks again for tuning in. We're live here at Okayama. You can see not a ton of people here today. It's all about qualifying, 86. But Chrome knows. I mean, Yokoi if you can backtrack, again, watching the comfort of my own home in Arizona, saw Yokoi and Mad Mike do battle. Insane. Great battle. And Yokoi in practice, killing it. He was absolutely slaying that first front clip. Initiation, or excuse me, that first rear clipping zone. But let's see how he throws it down. Here we go. Masashi Yokoi. Big angle. Maxing it out, coming into that first rear clipping zone. Did he throw too much at it? No, he did not. Big angle, but too much. Too much angle for Yokoi.
Well,
that's what I said, man. I mean, he wanted to throw it out there.
We know what happens there, but I just want to go back to your comment about Mad Mike and Yokoi. For me, the best 2 battles of this year so far, generally speaking.
Okay. Memorable.
Forsberg and Honadale in Montreal, and Yokoi and Mad Mike in Ebisu.
Also Ken Gushi and Ryan Turk in Jersey.
And that one as well.
That was a wild one.
Yeah.
Because audibly it sounded insane. Unfortunately for Yokoi, but you know that's a testament to Yokoi. He's got it, but he wanted to be #1 qualifier out of the gate, and taking chances like that, that's the level. Ante up, dude. Bummer for Yokoi. A 0 on his first run, but fortunately he does have another run. But I mean, you're seeing these scores, as you said. We saw an 89 from his teammate, but Yokoi, unfortunately, with a 0. Daichi Oshiro. Daichi saying, hey, how you doing? Daichi in the Mark II here. Part of that Big Wang gang. Very menacing looking front end there.
Oh, it's
done. It's done. Shutting it down. So Daichi Oshiro with an O in the scorebooks. Only a few more drivers left, Ryan. 4 to be exact. Semi Tanaka, Andrew Gray, Mad Mike Woodette, and Chris the Force Forsberg. You can hear a bag of bolts in there somewhere. Looks like he'll pull off course here, and we'll see him back in the pit. So, Ryan looking real regal right now, fanning herself. And there it is officially. G-Shock presents Formula of Japan, Daichi Oshiro with a 0.
Another one of my favorite drivers coming up, Seimi Tanaka.
Yeah?
Yep. Very exciting.
All right.
Much excite.
Much excite. Our speed over the rival. Remember those old Bomex banners? No. Was there our speed over the rival?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Man, a lot of sponsors on that car. Not a lot of blue paint poking through there. Here we go. All right, well, it's good.
Boom.
Pay to play, Tanaka. You talked about it. He's going to be about it. Toyota. Look how soft that suspension is. See him just floating in the wind. Big angle from Tanaka. Oh, man. Woo! Looked like he made a small correction there to navigate that S15 through the hole.
It's okay. It's going to be an 80, between 84 and 87. But this is one of the nuances that I think is really interesting to look at on initiation. What the judges talked a lot about in the meeting is getting into initiation the way that you want to, but then immediately or as soon as possible, get back on the throttle watch. He initiates no e-brake pull, and then right there you can see the smoke coming back on the tires. He gets right back on the throttle. He's able to get out to that zone pretty decently there. He probably could have got into it a little bit earlier, but overall solid job there. No problem with outer zone 2. Little tiny there, a manipulation of the front wheels coming into outer zone 3. It's a very aggressive, solid run with a lot of things that are positive about it and a couple little negatives, but you know, overall it's going to be a good score for him.
Still, like you said, a fun driver to watch.
Yeah.
And I think he took, a moderate exciting up, so claims are off. 81. 81. He said 84 to 87.
I know. I was going to drop it down, but
yeah, I just wanted to look wrong because it's hard being right all the time. I know.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory.
And we already know who wins the event.
Right.
Yeah. Andrew Gray, Team Kazama, Power Vehicles. originally from Scotland, now living at Ebisu. 3 more drivers. You can see him waiting in the wings. Mad Mike Wedette and Chris Forsberg. Man, it is hot in the direct sun.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
Just put it out there. Farouk Kugay watching with Juha Rintanen. Steve Angerman, he's watching as well. All right, a little delay here in the action. Andrew Gray on the start line. And Andrew Gray leaving the start line. Here we go. What's Mr. Gray got?
Wow.
Wow, yeah. That definitely does call for a wow. A lot of smoke coming off Gray's car. Very fluid, nice job, good transition. Lifting to the throttle and standing back on it, scrubbing some speed, allowing him to shoot the gap. Look at that thing. I mean, just smoking the tires.
Well, that was a very, very smoky run.
Liked it. Nice job by Andrew Gray.
We'll take a second look here at Andrew Gray as he is one of 3 drivers left here in our first run of qualifying. You can see very aggressive start, smoking the tires down the straightaway. Tiny little e-brake pull to get set up there. You'd like to see him maybe get a tiny bit deeper, but he does have that back bumper right on that outer zone. Nice and tight on that inside clip. Perfect on that second outer zone. Third outer zone, very, very close there. Big angle, lots of smoke pouring off as he wraps on this last inside clip in a very aggressive run for Andrew Gray.
81 for the Team Kazama Power Vehicles Andrew Gray Chaser. And 81 gets him up in the mix. Our winner from Ebisu earlier this year, Mad Mike Wedette, back behind the wheel of what he has deemed humble. Operated and built by Team Magic here in Japan. Team Red Bull. Again, Team Magic FDRX7. 4-rotor twin turbo engine setup similar to that of his stateside MX-5. Man, big, nasty initiation. You can see him quickly yanking the e-brake. Out to outside zone, banging away. Woo! Popping and locking into the gap. Sounded like a fireworks show out here, 4th of July in Japan. Wow. I mean, just from the noise to the car to everything, great run, exciting to watch, and he put the car in the right places. He did exactly what he needed to do.
But not the prettiest, though, I would say.
Not the prettiest.
No, it's a pretty good run here for Mike. You can see as he initiates right here, he's going to be off throttle for a little bit till right there he starts getting back on throttle. So unlike Tanaka, who got back on throttle a bit earlier, Mad Mike waited just a little bit to get himself set up. You can see he has a couple little twitches here, right there, going into that third outer zone, and then right again here, trying to find his location in this last final inside clip. It'll be enough of a score to get him into the top 32, no problem.
Yeah.
But we'll see where it slots him in, and I'm certain that he'll have another opportunity at it. Nice score for him in 85.
85 for Mad Mike Wedette. One more driver left for their first run. Then we'll start back at the top of the order. We'll take a commercial break after Chris Forsberg's run, gather our thoughts, try to cool down. It's a hot one out here, so these drivers in their race suits sweating it out. All right, so Chris the Force Forsberg, two-time FD champion, NOS energy drink. Here we go. JZX coming down the pipe. Throws it into that first rear clipping zone. Getting out to it. A bit off of that front clip. Now dialing in on the second one. Shooting the gap. Taking a risk there. It looked a bit sketchy, but then brings it on back. Now, Chris, again, we started the show talking about his World Championship effort, choosing this round to be his international effort with 2 more rounds after this round. Could gain him the overall 2016 World Championship.
Yeah, well, with that run, it certainly puts the percentage and the probability square in his camp. No matter what the score is here, he just needed to make it into qualifying and make a qualifying pass in order to get 1 point, and that would allow him a pretty substantial amount of points for breathing room going in the last 2 rounds. It would literally take him, finishing out of 32 both times, and Mad Mike or Matt Field to more or less win the event. So for Forsberg, obviously here coming out here and picking up the vehicle, he picks up a 71 on run number 1, and he'll be back for run number 2.
71 for Chris Forsberg, as you said. World Championship implications on the line. We'll take a quick break, and we'll return with the second run for our drivers. Thank you for joining us out here at Okayama International Circuit. Jared Deenda, Ryan Sage. When we return, we'll start at the top of the order for our second runs here in qualifying at Okayama. Welcome back here to Okayama. Okayama International Circuit, Formula Japan, qualifying 2. That means the second run here for our drivers. 40-plus drivers are in that vicinity. But Ryan, we've seen some exciting driving already. Currently leading the pack, Kazuki Hayashi, and that's S15 Sylvia.
Followed by Kasahara with an 86. And it looks like we have at least 2 ties for 3rd place among Mad Mike Widett. Actually, no, it does look like Mad Mike is in 3rd. So there you go. There's your top 3.
Well, they could all go out the window, or they could hold tight. Here we go. Back to the top of the order. Kazuhiro Kubo. Carvalax S13. Throws it in. Big yank of the brake. So definitely a different style here as far as the e-brake utilization. Off of that first rear clipping zone. Tightens it up. Nice big angle there. Safe, moderate run there through the hole, through the gap. He has a 61 on his first run. Ugh. That kind of got hairy there for Kubo.
Well, as you said, Jared, trying to better his 61 here on run number 2. Only a few drivers with zeros out there that include Masashi Yokoi. Kubo is probably right on the margin right about now, so wants to get up into the 70s if possible. You can see the initiation there leads him to go a little bit short on that first outer zone. Second outer zone a little bit better there, but a real tight line through the center section, not hitting that 3rd outer zone, and then here almost getting caught up, but is able to hold on to it with a nice final transition in that last inside clip. So looking at better, a 61 is Kazuhiro Kubo.
Got Luke, Formula Dread, watching at home as well. Thanks for tuning in. I know Andrew Haitley was watching. A few different drivers. 71, so bettering it, Ryan. Kazuhiro Kubo to 71 on his second run. The breeze clearing things out a little bit.
Hey.
Ryan, our next round of Formula Drift Championship in the States, Formula Drift Texas. Pretty. I have to say, zany things usually happen there, man.
Always. I have a working theory about why. We'll talk about it after this round.
All right. So Emeril Norden back at it again with the white S13. The 52 on his first run. Oh, that's a big correction there. We'll see if We'll see if that's a 0 or if that will just be a deduction. Into the gap is Norden, banging on the rev limiter, and flick of the wrist past that front clip. Is that a scoreable run?
Very, very close there. It was kind of an opposite drift, but it was on initiation, so I could see him banging him for that pretty substantially. But let's take a look at the run again here. You can see he's going to get caught up pretty heavily. The biggest mistake of the run so far, right there, just not able to get into initiation. So it's almost going to be a reinitiation, which is no longer a 0.
But a deduction.
A major deduction. better job on that first outer zone, tight on that second inside clip, a little bit short there on that second outer zone. And again, they're mid-high line on that third outer zone, and then the final transition here is able to hit that last inside clip pretty decently. But again, that major mistake. Now he's looking to better a 62.
52.
52,
That's
rather.
a 5-2.
I think that's going to be maybe possible, but that mistake will certainly take away from commitment style. I mean, from the commitment initiation aspect.
55, so just barely. So, you know, if he makes in top 32 with a score of 55, he's got bigger fish to fry. He's going to have to go against some serious contenders. Our number one qualifier, say he qualifies 32nd, he'll go against our number one qualifier, and as it stands right now, we saw how dynamic Hayashi is, so he's really going to need to step it up. Yoshikazu Kawakami. He shut it down on his first run. He has a 0. This is do or die for Kawakami. Kawakami throws it in. Let's see, what do we got? Stays off that E-brake. Works it into the first rear clipping zone. Just dances with the rumble strips. Hits it and quits it. Shallow angle, but still navigates past the front clip. Kawakami into the gap. Gets it outside zone. And brings it home. So it will be a score. Obviously bettering his first run, which is a 0. Ryan?
Yeah, just historically speaking, usually the cutoff for FD Japan events is in the 70s.
Yeah.
With 40 drivers here, there will be 8 that are not making it through. But certainly this is better than a 0. You can see just lacking a little bit of the commitment there. Initiates, gets back on throttle. Starts accelerating towards this outer zone 1. You can see some of the differences between the drivers that are lower ranked and higher ranked, just about the overall commitment coming into that first corner, you know, braving 100+ miles per hour entry and not being afraid to go off into the dirt. So Kawakami will have a score on the board. Let's see. Let me see what kind of magic we can work here. Ooh.
61, a 61. Just looking at the car count here, we didn't have a number. I counted 37 drivers, actually.
Oh, because of Benjamin Chiam and a couple other guys?
Yeah, Chiam. But is Hanazam going to run? Hanazam's here.
Hanazam is here.
So he got a 0 on his first run. That was a bye. We'll see if he is able to run. Hey, Ryan, have you heard this song before?
Oh, I'm not sure if people home. I mean, I know that they know that we've been talking about it, but I don't know. Do you think they can hear as well? Can they hear the music?
I don't know. I don't know.
If you're at home and you're watching, let us know if you guys can hear the Foo Fighters. Have been on repeat for the past 2 hours.
Like I said, I'm not mad at Foo Fighters at all, but I don't know if I want to listen to them all day long. It's like Clockwork Orange here. All right, so it's times like these that we need to see it drift again. All right, so Yoshioka. Oh, wow, using all the course the first time we've seen somebody go off there. Oh, shimming. Whoa. I think that's going to be a goose egg. Yeah. Is that a scoreable run there from the judges?
We see some conversing going on here. Oh, I see an eye flick from Ryan Lantain. Is that a scoreable run?
All right, yeah. I mean, if it's lackluster, I mean I would consider that an unscoreable run.
Well, let's take a look at it here. We'll see where and if one of the absolute zeros comes into play. There's the initiation there. Looking for this first outer zone. Good angle here so far. You can see unravels the angle a little bit there. Now the transition way off that first inside clip. And then right there, you can see, I think, double initiation. I mean, it.
All right, give him a 20. You know what I mean? Like that was just
anything below a 55 at this point might as well be a 0.
Yeah. Well, and what's unfortunate for Yoshioka is he does have a 0 on his first run. Ooh. So that will be a no comply. Again, we are live here at Okayama International Circuit. Jared Dienda, Ryan Sage. Ryan, we seem to have a fun, casual time. We're just speaking to the live stream crowd. We're not talking to the house here at the track. And there it is, Yoshioka with a 0.
You don't feel the need to get up and scream, "Oh, doctor"?
I mean, if it warrants it, I'll do it. I mean,
what do I need to do to make that happen?
So you
want me to take my shirt off?
No, please don't. Then I'm just jealous. I'm just jealous of your washboard abs. You and your running and your fitness and your health, getting some On-It supplements, doing your regimen, bringing your bag of snacks. Ryan brings a bag of snacks everywhere. But mind you, I do appreciate them.
Right.
And it's times like these that I do need some healthy snacks. All right, so back to the action. We are seeing Hiroshima standing on the throttle. Nice job. Consistent, big angle into the gap. Nope, see, that doesn't warrant Oh Doctor. I mean, if he got close to that wall, that might have beckoned it. But Hiroshima pulls it all the way through.
What is the phrase that you're most proud of? If you had to look back at your career, as we take a look at Hiroshima's run here one more time.
So Oh Doctor is a homage to the late great Jerry Coleman, who announced for the Padres. And as a kid, I'd go to San Diego Padres games, and if there was a sensational play, Jerry Coleman would say, "Oh Doctor." And then if it was even better, he'd say, "Oh, Doctor," and he'd say, "You can hang a star on that one." And he literally had a star on a stick and hang it out of the press box. And he swung it, and whenever a star came out, depending on which fast food or whatever restaurant they worked with, you'd get a taco or a burger. And he'd hang a star, and you'd get a taco or a hamburger. As we get a 74 here for Hiroshima. So Oh Doctor is an homage from a childhood thing for myself. But as far as just the drift, let's call it what it is, dictionary. Oh Doctor, send it, some, just even some woos. I think and it's a very natural reaction, and it, you can't, right? I mean, even yourself, you'd be like, yeah. I mean, you get cranked.
Yeah, you do.
And I think just the drift dictionary that we've created over the last 12 plus years now on our 13th year of Formula Drift, it's become popular and common vernacular in the drifting world. So.
Yes, Hanazam.
But action speaks louder than words. So, yeah, here's Hanazam. He's back at it again. Or back at it for the first time. Hanazam. Around that first front clip. Oh, Hanazam, a big correction, straightening. Will that warn? Oh, shutting it down, Hanazam.
I was going to say that was a lot like the second run of Yoshioka.
Yeah.
So I have to imagine that it was going to be of a similar outcome, and it is.
And gutted Team Malaysia, dude.
Bummer. You can see he starts off decently here, but it's really the latter part of the course that he's going to have trouble with. He's not really feeling that zone, but he's just looking at this point to better a 55, which is the lowest score that we have here. He'd like to get up in the 60s. There's the inability to maintain the angle through that section of the course, and then right there he unwinds it again and drives straight the rest of the way off the course. It'll be a 0 for Hanazam. And he goes back with us all the way to FD Asia many years ago, the team coming out of Malaysia. Good group of guys, but unfortunately that will be all she wrote for his competitive effort this weekend.
So with that being said, that we do have 38 drivers here with Hanazam taking his second run. So Yoshioka, Hanazam, they're out. So essentially there are 6 more drivers that their fate is in their own hands.
And we've still got a few zeros and a couple guys that had some no-shows on run number 1.
Yeah, and notably, I would say Yokoi, Masashi Yokoi, who and also Oshiro Daichi. All right, so here is the Mahdi's with West Auto Chaser of Saito. Throws it in. Fluid. Smoke pouring off the tires. Nice job. Into the rear clipping zone and through the gap. Good execution. Squat flick. Nice aggressive flick there as he nosed it in past that final front clip.
Well, another driver with a big smoke machine driving around this course here at Okayama. And for Ikuo Saito, his second run, looking to better a 70. So right there, kind of on the margin. First 5 scores are all under 70. You can see much better job on initiation and leading into outer zone number 1 there. He does get a bit off that first inside clip, but is able to get back online there for that second outer zone. Third outer zone slightly off there. Some good angle here. Nice throttle control wrapping around this last inside clip. Decent job there. So good run for him. Does look like he'll beat that 70, and it's a 79.
79 for Saito. So he does better his first score. Ryan, I'm your #1 fan right now.
Literally.
Literally. Oh, there's the breeze. Yes. Yes. All right, coming down the pipe. Mitsuru Murakami. Clubman S, Sylvia S15. What do you got for us, Murakami? Throws it in. Settled. Transition past the front clip. Diving into the gap. Well played. And Ryan Murakami with a 63 on his first score. Does that better it?
Well, he's definitely lacking angle in some key parts
Yeah.
of the course, especially in outer zone 2 and coming out of outer zone number 1. Let's take a look at it again here. As you said, trying to better a 63.
Yeah, it seems shallow, just even on initiation or on that first rear clipping zone.
So here he goes. He's going to do a little bit e-brake initiation here. Gets back on the throttle, shooting towards outer zone 1. You can see kind of unwinds it right there.
Yeah.
Isn't able to get back to full angle here on outer zone 2. Most guys are basically perpendicular to that outer zone. And then the final turn for Murakami. So will he better that 63? I'm going to say 69, 70.
We will soon find out. Dude, Ryan, I mean, you're really not helping fight the belief that it's all staged. You're really contributing.
I'm reinforcing it.
You're contributing and reinforcing that you are the puppet master.
Yep. All right, the next score is going to be
Ryan, who wins tomorrow's event? Ken Nomura? Does Nomakin win?
No. Not enough payoffs. Come on.
Keep handing the bananas over. I'm going to show you. Here we go. Bloop. Let's see what Nomakin has in his ER34.
Hello.
Hello. Whoa, into the rumble, and then works it. Working the whole course there. Shallow angle past that front clip. Gets into the second rear clipping zone. You see the front wheels correcting to massage it into the third rear clipping zone. So leaving some points there on the table. Ryan, he had what? Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry. Ken Nomura had a 69 on his first run, a 69.
Well, the one thing we'll notice here on initiation is a little bit longer e-brake pull than you'd like to see. You can see guys who will induce the initiation for that, but dragging it all the way out just shows a little bit a lack of or a little bit of undercommitment or overcommitment, depending on how long that thing is going to be pulled. You can see a little bit of wavering there. I think this is going to be in the ballpark of run number 1. We might get into the low 70s potentially.
You think? 69 on his first run. Dude, what the heck? Ryan, you're again really contributing and reinforcing.
No, I think FD Japan is actually a lot easier to predict it because the scores. There's a big variance between.
Hey, real quick, what's the deal between Texas? You said Texas. You have a theory, and why is Texas zany and wacky?
Oh, because one of the key areas of Texas, no matter which way you run the course, is that center section. Not
the power alley.
What we call the power alley. And the power alley is a very narrow strip of concrete asphalt, but it's a very important strip of concrete or asphalt. Oh, here we go.
All right. Finish that thought in a moment. As we have Koguchi here in this FT86. Flew it through the course. Oh, way off that second rear clipping zone. Just came up short, couldn't shoot it in there. Ryan Koguchi has a 77 on his first run.
So run number 2 for Koguchi here as we take a look at him one more time into initiation. Good angle here, shooting towards outer zone number 1. Really good job on that zone. But he's going to make a bit of a mistake here on outer zone number 2. Just does not get the transition right, to get the line right going into outer zone 2. He's able to kind of get back onto there. He's on a mid-high line on outer zone 3, and then nice and tight on that final clip. Yeah, so
very important piece of concrete and asphalt road track.
that center section is important, but it's not very wide.
72 for Kikuchi is 72 for Kikuchi.
And because it's not very wide, you can drive a straight line through there as opposed to getting out to the zones.
Okay.
And from an aesthetic standpoint, it won't look that bad. It won't look that bad because of the way that the course is set up. So
it's almost perception that really
it's perception that messes
us.
it up. You can drive right through the middle, which is a big deduction from the judge's mind. But from a fan perspective and from our perspective, it doesn't look that crazy as long as you have angle through it. But when guys get out wide, they get more points, and it's just not as aesthetically noticeable.
Right.
So I think that definitely plays a big role, especially in tandem on the lead drivers' run comparisons.
Here we go, Cooney. Cooney had a 82 on his first run. Kuniaki, nice job there on that Mark X. Transitioning through, getting in the dirt. Whoa! That looked scareball there. And Cooney scrubbing a lot of speed there and off that front clip, but want to look at this again here. He goes into that second rear clipping zone, throws up some dirt, and he was it looks sketchy.
Sitting on that 82, coming down this long front straight here. Love the approach here. Minimal e-brake, right back on the throttle. He's going to stay pretty deep into this outer zone here. Big smoke cloud coming off. Good transition back around. Nice and deep into that second outer zone. Drops a little bit of tire. You can see it causes him to go into that third outer zone a tiny bit early. And a little shaky there, but he's got a good score as a backup in 82. I think it's going to be in the ballpark. I'm going to go 81.
Sounds reasonable. Look at that. Nice. I'm just losing the back half of that Mark X.
81 is my first guess, and then just in case there's a lot of points for
79.
Oh, no, I'm going to go 84.
No, 84.
Yeah.
He's off this front clip here.
He is. He made
some speed.
Made some mistakes. That's why I'm more in the 81 area.
78,
Ooh,
dude.
I got that one off.
Yeah. I see what you did there, though. You contrasted being right all the time. Get him off the trail. As hot as it is a good time, man.
It is a good time, you know. It's nice to just be on the forest.
Tetsuya Iha, Top Tool, Aristo. Thing cambered out. Here we go. You saw that rubber on initiation from Iha. Flew it through there. Sounding pretty, looking good. Shallow off of that third rear clipping zone and tightens it up. Leaving some points out there, Ryan. We have a 75 on his first run. I don't know if that's going to better. What do you think? 75?
Yeah.
It's in that realm?
I would say it's lower than that.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. Let's take a look at this. You can see he's going to get caught up here on initiation. Just not fully committed. A little bit of a flub there with the front wheels. Trying to get out to this outer zone here. He fills it at a very minimal level. A little bit straight on that inside clip there. Better on outer zone 2, and then very, very tight line on outer zone number 3. You can see it's a wide line here as he wraps back around. And he'll do a better job on that last inside clip, but that is the easiest section of the course. So see if he can improve on the 75. And
69.
he does not.
I was going to say 69. Listen to Arito over there. Sounded funny. Arito, Tom, and Alexi are Japanese counterparts. Daisuke Nakamura. Was it Daisuke?
Daisuke, I think, yeah.
Daisuke. All right, playing. All right, here we go. So Daisuke, a 68 on his first run. Nasty, nice, aggressive initiation. Woo! Just with that edge of the track. Off that front clip, like the angle. Mess up there, a flub on the second rear clipping zone. Wow, nice job on that rear. Had some moments of greatness there, some sensational things, but breaking it up. Mistake here, mistake there, but sensational over here. I mean, that was fun. Daisuke.
Certainly a high-risk maneuver on outer zone 3. Let's take a look at the run here one more time as we're close to almost halfway through a run number 2. Good initiation. You can see a little bit of wobbling from the front wheels, but he's able to position the car deep into that zone now, coming into inside clip number 1. Now into outer zone 2. Not really getting to full angle here, and you can see he's pushing really, really deep into that third outer zone. Scary moment there, but able to pull it off. And then a little bit long on that last inside clip. So some exciting moments there for Daisuke Nakamura.
Daisuke, what do you got? 68 on his first run. 70. 73? If you get 73 right, just leave. 78. I would say just jump off.
Just go ahead and jump off.
Go jump off the tower.
Just go feed myself to the wolves.
Yep. They're a husband and wife wolf duo.
Are they?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Ben Williams, Big Ben, 84. Put another drift on the Bobby. As Ben Williams from Oz. Down under. Here we go. Whoop. To the naked eye, as I see it, that looks fun, man. That looks wild. Out to the clip. Transitioning into the final rear clipping zone. You saw him correct there, keeping it off the wall. He already has a great score of 84.
Whoa.
Oh, wide swing there by Williams. But like I said, he already has an 84 on his first run. I don't know if that's going to better it, but it's still really fun to watch.
Yeah, super fun run to watch by Ben Williams here. His second attempt, like you said, looking to better an 84 here. You can see he's going to get real aggressive from the onset, initiate.
Cuckoo.
A little bit of knee brake pull there. Now looking to throttle back on as he stays really deep into this first outer zone. Great job there. Now back around to this inside clip. Good transition.
It warrants a sneeze.
Yeah, it was so big.
It was big angle. Bless you, Ryan.
I was trying to give you the heads up.
I know.
Hey, it's coming. It's coming.
I saw you tap me. 73 is 73 for Ben Williams. 73.
See, at home you would have the cough button.
Yeah, we don't
Here.
have no cough, but we have nothing.
The procedure is you have to take the headphones off and point them away from you.
We're just having some fun today here. We're seeing some sensational driving. Tomorrow, we're going to call the action just like we are here today, but just today a little more casual, right, Ryan?
Yep. Serious, but
I mean,
casual.
at the end of the day, you are my boss, so I do as such. So it seems like you're having a casual, good natured time.
Just got to go with the flow, man.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you feel. It's about having fun and calling the shots.
All right, here we go with that Sylvia S15 Kenji Yamada looking like the Ford Mustang that we were referencing. I mean, I'm just telling you, that front end is just really off the ground, and he is tucking tire. Whoa, big, nasty transition.
Nice.
Into the rear clipping zone. Scrubbing some speed, using that angle as Yamada. See the chrome rim spinning. Mustang week here at Okayama International Circuit.
Well, sitting on a 76, a nice aggressive run here.
76.
By Kenji Yamada, run number 2, trying to better that. As he'll take his second approach. Decent job there on initiation, getting to angle here now. Back on throttle. Pretty good job on outer zone number 1, transitioning right there. Nice. Good little flick into outer zone 2. And a mid-high line there. Get pretty close to that third outer zone. And then the final wraparound here. I'm definitely going to say that was a pretty solid run by Kenji Yamada. I'm pretty sure that'll better the 76 if I had to guess.
And you did. You don't have to, but you did. Guess that is. That's the judging tower there off 80. Nice job. And 80 for Kenji Yamada. About halfway through with our second run here as Kei Takanohashi, top speed, Elite Sport S15. Good Ride is a tire manufacturer here. A couple of the guys running Good Ride tires.
Are they good rides?
Some would say so. Here we go. Top Speed, Good Ride. We'll see. Top two, a lot of top and goods going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. Doesn't get all the way out to the clipping zone, but flew it through the course. Big angle there. Into that. Nice job. Losing the back half. Smoke camouflage in the back of the S15 of Kei Takanohashi.
So here we go, run number 2 for Takanohashi. He's got that 63, certainly going to better that. This is a good run from him. Starts off aggressive initiation, just a little slight e-brake pull once and then twice. Nice angle here, back on throttle. Decent job on outer zone 1. Bit off that first inside clip. Much better on that second outer zone, and then deep into that third. Good consistency, nice fluid motion. Pretty strong run for run number 2 for Kei Takanohashi.
83 and 83. Nice job there. We're seeing these guys ante up, pony up, and throw down some solid runs. Taichi Hisano. In contention in my eyes for being another one of the great looking cars here. Let's see what you got. Taichi Hisano. Big feint entry, flick into the first rear clipping zone. Pouring some more angle at it. Tight to that front clip. Nasty transition. Well played. Shallow off that third rear clipping zone, but maintains big angle. And past that front clip. Pretty exciting run there.
You can see some of the variance in the level of smoke coming off these vehicles and the different builds here. Hisano, an example of a little bit less smoke, maybe getting on throttle a little bit later here after initiation in outer zone 1. A pretty aggressive flick there, and then you can see it's on the throttle, then off for a second, then back on it here. Usually we see a big smoke cloud coming off outer zone number 1, but we don't necessarily see that from Hisano. It's not necessarily a bad thing, just a aesthetics thing, and gives you an idea of car build and how everything's set up. But a decent run for him, run number 2. Nice flick back around to that last inside clip. He's got that 79, so he has a pretty solid score for run number 1. We'll see if he can get into the 80s here on run number 2.
All right, we got Phase 2 Yogi watching, No Coast Drifter, thanks for tuning in. Also Maximum Driftcast, Brian Sagan. 78. 78. What was the nickname we gave the Raging Sajan?
Yep.
That was Chris Forsberg gave you that.
It's pretty good.
Oh, whoa. Somebody just fell down. somebody just died. I don't know what happened back there. Somebody tripped over the bento boxes. All right, moving on. Tomohiro Nakamura. Nakamura with a 70 on his first score. Supermade Racing S15. Excuse me, no, this is the S4. This is the S1 Via. The RocketWorks Supermade car. Whoa. You can hear him sputtering through the course. What do we got? Ryan a 70 on his first run with Nakamura.
Well, let's take a look at it here one more time. Nakamura heads out of the chicane down, getting ready to initiate. Tries to get to angle as quickly as possible, makes a slight adjustment here. Gets that back bumper right over into that first outer zone. A little bit short on that second outer zone. Mid-high line on that third outer zone, trying to find and get himself settled. I think it's going to be in the ballpark of his first run. maybe a little bit better, 73 or something. There we go, 71.
Boom, 71, so it betters it just by 1 point, but better nonetheless. So next up was to be Yoshida and S15 Sylvia, but I do not believe him or Ben Chiam. Just want to make, I know Ben Chiam's not here. Yeah, this should be, yes it is, Yoshinoro Shinozaki. After this run, we'll take a short commercial break so you can grab a beverage, grab some food. I know it's late night on the East Coast and even on the West Coast. Local time here, 3 p.m. Yeah, in LA, it's 11 o'clock, 2 in the morning on the East Coast. So thanks for hanging tough with us. Initiates, rolling into it. Gets the outside clip. Like you said, Ryan, not a bellowing cloud of smoke coming off this particular vehicle. Oh, shallow straightening. Big mistake there. With a 68 on his first run, that will be a 0. So Shinozaki will look at it again here, but that's going to be a goose egg, unfortunately.
Yeah, the second attempt does not provide any value here to the judges. And unfortunately, he'll be sent on 0. Let's see where he made the mistake. You can see initiates, drops the tire on initiation, heading into outer zone number 1. Has a little bit of a correction with the front wheels as he shoots out towards outer zone number 1. But right here as he wraps back around. Better job on outer zone 2, but he's going to lose it right there. And that'll be all she wrote. So he'll sit on that 68.
There it is, make it official. Shinozaki with a 0. So we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue the last half of Run 2 for our remaining drivers. We are live at Okayama International Circuit. Ryan Sage, I'm Jared Deenda. When we return, G-Shock presents Formula Drift Japan here at Okayama International Circuit. When we return. Welcome back to Okayama International Circuit. I'm Jared Deenda, Ryan Sage with me, giving you some play-by-play action. We are now in the second half of the second runs of our drivers. You can see off in the distance, smoking up and warming up some tires there on the far side of the track as we continue. Atsushi Taniguchi. Tetsujin JZX 100 as he begins to throw down a stanky run here. Very shallow. Transitions into that final clip. Can he salvage a run here? He got is that a 77 on his first score?
Yep.
All right, so a 77. Will that beat it?
So Atsushi Taniguchi on run number 2. Looks to be struggling a bit with the line here. Let's take a look at this one more time. Decent initiation there. You can see good angle right there, but has to pull a little bit out as he adjusts his line. And he's going to struggle with the line continually throughout the latter part of this run as well. You can see missing that second outer zone. Third outer zone, very shallow. So certainly some deduction of points there on the line side of things as he tries to better a 77.
73. He does not. So his first score, 73. All right, so Koichi Yamashita. Great looking car here, again being debuted here. This Mark II. Nice job into the rear clipping zone. No dirt being thrown up. Taking it all the way to the edge of the track, filling that second rear clipping zone. Well played through the gap, big angle, still maintaining some speed. Well played.
That was cool. Oh, that is cool.
So, 76 on his first run, Ryan.
Yeah, Yamashita certainly laying it down here in run number 2, looking Much more consistent. You can see nice initiation there. Just a little e-brake pull. Get himself situated. Big angle, but he's able to maintain the line all the way through. Big smoke cloud right on inside clip number 1. Perfect on outer zone 2. Very close on outer zone 3. We haven't seen somebody quite get all the way up and rub that bumper in outer zone 3, but Yamashita certainly got very, very close. So a solid run. He will better that 76.
Nice, 79. So next up was to be Ichiyanagi in the S13. He had an 84. Don't know if he's taken a bye on his second run, or if we'll see him. I mean, he has an 84. I would assume that he's just taking a bye. All right, so next up, Fukada. Fukada with a 69 on his first run. Here we go, Fukada. Big aggressive initiation, nice job. Into the rear clipping zone, filling it up nicely, Fukada. Could have been a slight bit closer on the front clip, very fluid line. As Fukada brings it into the final front clip, well played. Strong execution here. A 69 on his first run. I have to assume that's going to better it.
Yep, I would have to agree with you. Certainly a better run than the 69. He looked a lot more settled and fluid on this run. Starts off with a pretty decent initiation here and then follows it up with a great outer zone 1. Let's take a look at that right here. You can see initiates, little e-brake pull there, back on the throttle. You can see the car squat nice and deep into that zone. Perfect timing coming out of that zone into that inside clip 1, and then right there, back bumper through those 2 standing cones in outer zone number 2, mid-high line in outer zone 3. Nice and tight here. Solid fluidity through the last inside clip and across the finish line is Fukada, so he's going to pop in at a 80.
Nice, an 80 there for Fukada.
80ポイント、いい得点です。はい。忠宏2本目でした。さあ続いてはシャークペースの増田千光。
The teeth are showing here on Masuda. Masuda-san in the JZX90 Mark II. All right, let's see what we got. A 73 on his first run. Into the dirt. Transitioning into that final. Man, blazing down the line.
Well, here we go, Masuda, run number 2. Looking at a 73. Very aggressive driver, very fun to watch in head-to-head matchups. Big angle right there, goes a little bit long, drops that left rear wheel. It caused him to miss that inside clip just a tiny, tiny bit. But back on it here, he's on a mid-high line through outer zone number 3. Lots of smoke coming off the car, very aggressive. I'm gonna venture to say that it's gonna be between a 75 and 80. He's gonna get some line deduction points for dropping that wheel, but overall, solid run for Masuda. 82.
82, nice job. Blazing through the course. Okayama. Thank you, Daijiro Yoshihara. Masaki Kasahara. Team Masaki, S15. 86 on his first run.
Second place qualifier. So
yeah. Big initiation. Wow, look at that counter steer. Barely, look at that front right wheel. Barely just kissing the ground. Big angle past that front clip. Wow. Like the fluidity, big commitment there. Was off of that rear clipping zone, but an exciting run. Man, this guy's throwing it down.
You can definitely see the tendencies and the differences between the 70s and the 60s and these 80-plus runs. It's about commitment on initiation. It's about commitment from outer zone 2 to outer zone 3. You can see good big commitment here with just a slight e-brake pull, big angle, and filling that first outer zone. Coming off a little bit early, he whips back into inside clip number 1. Big angle here, using the momentum to surge all the way as deep as he can into outer zone 3. He misses it by a tiny, tiny bit, but like you said, Jared, big commitment there. He gets a tiny bit out of whack reaching into that last inside clip, but Kasahara already has that 86. It's going to be an 84. See if I still have the magic.
Yeah, what do you got? What do you got?
I said 84.
84. 89.
Ooh.
Big score, an 89.
Magic is gone.
And that is currently tied for number 1, but the equalizer, we'll see how they land overall.
The equalizer is judge number 3, which is Style, and right now Hayashi has the higher Style score.
Okay, so Kazuki Hayashi still our number 1 qualifier unofficially,
but the other, or actually the first tiebreaker is the second score. So
okay, all right, we'll see. Again, unofficially, we have two 89s. Here we go. Kenji Yamanaka, Tomei Power, top tool Mark II, into the rear clip, a smoke trail just being left behind. Yeah, Kenji Yamanaka throwing it down. Back up the hill and past that front clip. Kenji looking possessed, an 81 on his first run.
Well, Kenji Yamanaka, not a lot to complain about here. Just maybe a little bit more attention to this initiation right there. You can see he's big e-brake and then back on throttle right there. The car is kind of squats. You'd love to see some more fluidity and a bit more commitment out of that to minimize the e-brake and have enough speed, using your angle to slow the car down into outer zone number 1. But the second part of the course is pretty good here. You can see he was on a midline coming through outer zone 3, and a nice fluid transition back around the last inside clip. So Kenji Yamanaka with that 81 on run number 1, seeing if he can upgrade in run
84, and 84 he does. So he throws down a more solid run and obviously warrants a bigger score. Again, Daijiro Yoshihara tuning in, a former Formula Drift champion. He's watching at home.
Yeah, from Singapore. Yeah, from Singapore.
Yingxing Yin, Singaporean driver. Car is operated by Power Vehicles, Andrew Gray's company. All right, let's see what Yingxing Yin has here with a 73 on his first score.
Nice. Get out there.
Yeah, and Yin dialing it in. Doesn't get all the way out there. Now really picking up some speed. Yeah, just not buttoning it up. All the rear clipping zones, quite a bit of distance off.
He's got the right idea on initiation. You know, he just
Driving
needs
fast.
to refine, you know, the line a little bit more and get his timing right. But his commitment on initiation is pretty awesome here. You'll see coming down this long straight here. He's going to throw the car sideways, no e-brake pull, trying to get his timing right, use the momentum of the vehicle and the angle to get to outer zone 1. Comes off a little bit early there. And then back into outer zone number 2 a little bit early there as well. So just trying to figure out the line. He'll get some deductions on the line point. But in the end, run number 2 looking at better, a 73. I'm going to go with, yes.
Yeah. 75. 75. So just barely, but still does. Well, we saw a really fun run from this vehicle earlier. The S13 of Yin Horino. Here we go, the Ben Sopra S13. Jada Toys. Big angle, gets out. Man, looking really rough into the outside clipping zone. Dips the tire, dialed in on that rear clipping zone. You see him make a quick correction to keep it on track. Well done. Ryan does that better, 73.
Let's take a look. Here we go. Yin Harino, run number 2. 73, as you said, Jared, looking to better that. Initiates here, a bit of an e-brake pull, then back on throttle right away. Looking for that outer zone, drops that left rear wheel, gets a little squirrely there as he comes back on course. And then right here, he's going to throw some angle into the car. Go pretty deep, but a little bit early on that outer zone, and that's where he has to make that slight adjustment there, but good commitment overall. Nice transition back around. And I will say that that will better the 73. 76.
77. 77. And we are seeing next Kazuya Iizuka. Just a few more drivers left. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. About 10 more drivers left. Iizuka, final connection. Team Mori, Mark II leaves the start chicane. What do we got? Iizuka comes into the first rear clipping zone, right there on the edge. Big angle past that front clip. Shooting the gap. Well played. And brings it into that final clip. 75, his first score. Iizuka. I'd say he betters it there.
So Iizuka, 75 on run number 1. Out of the gate. That car really squatting as he comes into initiation, throws it sideways, little e-brake pull there. Twitch in the front wheels, big angle. Draws a little angle out of it as he hits it outer zone 1, then inside clip 1. Misses outer zone 2. Mid-high line outer zone 3. Final turn. Nice, smooth transition to the final inside clip there for Iizuka.
Iizuka an 85, an 85 for Iizuka, definitely betters it. A 75, his first score, now an 85. Ryan, we got some words here. Who's somebody a scratch?
Jumping right to Hayashi, number 1 qualifier so far.
All right, so Taguchi, a 76 on his first run. Looks like he will be getting a 0 on his second run, or a bye. So now, as you said, our current number 1 qualifier, Kazuki Hayashi. After that, Masashi Yokoi with a 0. So this not so crucial because he's currently sitting number 1 qualifier, but can he better it? Big angle, big smoke. Not getting as deep as he did in the first one, but still exciting. Standing on the throttle, not letting off at all. This thing sounds like a bugle ripping around the track right now. Well played. I mean, dude, not lifting. Hear that? I mean, consistent exhaust note through the course.
Very aggressive run. Definitely not with the kind of impact that we saw from run number 1 on that 89. He certainly missed some of the line points, or left some line points on the table there. You can see he grabs a pretty decent e-brake after initiation. Tries to go deep into that zone, but we're talking about an 89 comparing. This is that second outer zone. Better job on outside zone 3. And the easy part of the course here, no problem there for Hayashi. So I'm going to go with 89. I mean 82. 81.
81? All right.
There's definitely some line realms there. It could be an 83.
85. An 85, so still a powerful score. Look at 89 and 85. Those are 2 solid scores. So this is do or die for Masashi Yokoi. The tension inside the cockpit of that D-Max Silvia S15 has got to be thick. So Masashi Yokoi, can he put down a score? Are we going to see him in head-to-head action tomorrow? Is he going to risk it again? He threw down a serious entry, but it ended up biting him in the end. And there it is again. What are we going to see from Yokoi? There we go. Gets out to the rumble strip. He's past the point of no return. Yanks it really quick into the gap. Masashi Yokoi brings it past the front clip. A score is on the board. Where he lands, we'll find out shortly.
No, I think he's going to have at least a 71, 72 to be safe, but I certainly think that that is going to warrant more than that. It should be high 70s, low 80s potentially. You can see right into that initiation, barely using any e-brake. Good commitment here as he goes into outer zone 1. Nearly perfect there. Nice and tight on that inside clip. Fast transition back, just a little bit deeper. He could have been in outer zone number 2 and outer zone 3. So leave a few line points on the table there. And then the last section here, it could be, I'm going to say 83.
85 and 85. So a great run there from Yokoi, and 85 puts him on the board. So that was nervousness there for Yokoi, almost not making it in.
He turked it though.
He what?
Ryan turked it.
Yeah.
Remember, Turk had a 0 on run number 1.
Wow.
Everybody got nervous, came back and slayed it.
Yep.
In Seattle. Nope. No, they have not changed the soundtrack.
Through all of Top 32 action, brought to you by Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters playing in the background still. Here we go. So Daichi Oshiro, another 0 for him. Oh boy. Oshiro dragging on that final rear clipping zone, crawling towards that final front clip. As Daichi, he gets a score on the board. He had a 0 on his first run.
So Oshiro, a mechanical in run number 1. He'll be in competition after his pretty decent run here in run number 2. Let's take a look at it one more time. Straight line approach. Initiates. Back on throttle here. Good angle into outer zone 1. Just coming off a little bit early. Into inside clip 1. Outer zone 2. Pretty smooth there. Mid-high line. Good angle. Trying to keep the fluidity consistent here with that last inside clip. And Oshiro is going to have, and I'm going to go 85 with him too. Oh no,
74.
Way off.
Wow, way off, guy.
That was my worst one.
74 for Daichi Oshiro. 4 more drivers left: Semi Tanaka, Andrew Gray, Mad Mike Wadette, and Chris Forsberg. I said Ryan Tanaka, a fun driver to watch. Semi Tanaka, 81 on his first run. D-Max, Toyo tires, S15. Whoa, big, nasty initiation. Can he hold on to it? Can he work it into that rear clipping zone? Yes, he can. You see a quick flick of those front wheels, but big angle. Nice job. Oh, Tanaka. Woo! Wow, that was, oh, doctor. There you go. But that wasn't a sensational doctor. That was a, oh, doctor, he's going to crash his car and maybe need to see a doctor. But he held on to it. He spun out. But he really had, I mean, not nothing to lose, but he had a strong score of an 81 on his first run.
So he'll sit with that 81 and definitely giving everybody a little bit of a puckering motion here as we'll take a look at what will end up being a 0 for Seimi Tanaka, but a fun run to watch up until that point. Big angle there, and the rate to angle from initiation was phenomenal. Great job on outer zone 1. Big smoke cloud. You can see the aggressive nature, always on throttle. And right here, big angle. Just mistimes it a little bit. Sees he's going towards a wall. Throws a spin in there to save it. And yeah, that could have been pretty bad, but he'll hold on to the vehicle. Good driving there by Seimi Tanaka, all things considered. And on to our next driver of Andrew Gray.
All right, Seimi Tanaka, a 0 on his second run. 3 drivers left. Andrew Gray on Achilles Radial tires. And he uses every ounce of rubber on these things. Going off his first run, he lit it up. Got lit up, fam. Andrew Gray about to throw down on his second run. His first score, an 81. Can he better it? Here we go. Gray lighting him up in his chaser into the rear clipping zone. Nice job. Bit of shallow angle, but really fills that second rear clipping zone through the gap. Big angle now, pouring it on. And Andrew Gray, a great backup to a really good first run, an 81. Ryan, does that better it?
I think so. Definitely very aggressive move right here by Andrew Gray. Smoking the tires down the front straight. Aggressive entry there by Andrew Gray with barely, I didn't see any e-brake there. So all commitment from him, trying to time it perfectly. Great job on outer zone 1. Flawless on outer zone 2. Back on throttle for a pretty tremendous job on outer zone 3. Probably one of the hardest sections and the scariest sections to go deep. He does a solid job there. I think it's going to be 85 plus here for Andrew Gray.
85, an 85 for Andrew Gray. There you go, Sherilyn. Andrew Gray putting down an 85 on his second run, an 81 on his first run, so second one bettering it. Mad Mike Woodett, 85 on his first run. Was that your rotary impersonation?
That was me impersonating you.
Sweet A's Brew. Here we go, Team Magic, Humboldt, fueled by Red Bull. Mad Mike Woodett, winner at Ebisu. First round of FD Japan. Let's see how Humboldt handles it. I'm gonna expect some big nasty initiation, and he does just that. Can he hold on to it? He loses a bit of angle, but then pours it back on. Whoa. Wow, that thing just echoing Okayama. Not only do the wolves keep away the deer, but that thing, the Humboldt, firing off and scaring anybody who's in the vicinity of this place.
Well, Mad Mike trying to back up that 85. A good run for him in run number 1. Pretty solid commitment. Just a couple little tiny little flubs there, but man, look at that aggressive flick. A little bit of e-brake pull there. You can see he makes an adjustment. And then again right here, I mean, this is just nitpicking at this point, but yeah, it's a solid run from Mike overall. Nice job on that second outer zone. You can see he makes a little bit of a correction there, trying to position himself. It's similar to his run number 1, but just so impressed with Mike overall in his commitment level. And an 84.
So just barely lesser than his first run, and he just wanted to throw it out there, see what kind of sensational thing
he could get done.
Yep. All right, Chris Forsberg, our final driver here at Formula Drift Japan, Okayama. He is in the borrowed JZX of Daigo Saito.
And I have to do the math here, but I'm pretty sure Chris is the lowest score for the runs we've seen in 70 in run number 2, with the exception of Kubo. So he wants to improve on that 71.
Yeah, so he is not guaranteed to be in top 32. Crawling into that first rear clipping zone, does not get all the way out there. Now transitions past the front clip, tightens it up. Into the second rear clipping zone through the gap. And heads back, approaching that final front clip. Does either a 71 or this run score get him into top 32, Ryan?
I think it's going to be better than the 71. It seemed to be a bit more committed there. He didn't seem to be as tentative. We know that that Chris is fighting the vehicle a little bit. It does not match up to 100%.
Figure right-hand drive and the whole deal.
He said he's having brain farts with the right-hand drive, and obviously the car's a little bit underpowered. So he's doing everything he can into trying to take home that world championship. I think he will better the 71. I think it's going to be a 74, and that should lock him in if my count is correct, but it'll definitely be at the lower end of the bracket. So let's see what the judges say here.
Yeah, I've seen 74, 70s, seen 69, 55,
Could be
71.
75.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of pressure here on Chris Forsberg, making the trip, taking a stab at the World Championship. He knows, mathematically showing up here, he does gain a point. He competed here in the round. So World Championship implications on the line. Where does he land? 71 on his first score. On his second score for our final driver here at Okayama. Thank you for tuning in, Ryan. What do you think? Tabulating the scores.
I'm sticking with the 74, 75. I think could range up a little bit higher than that. I think he'll be okay. We'll see here.
Some exciting drive. 79.
All right, that's 100% now.
79 for Chris Forsberg. So, Ryan, we've seen some really amazing driving. The judges, throwing out big scores, but really it comes down to tomorrow.
It's all about tomorrow. It's it's stacking up like a really fun weekend. We'll see what the brackets look like. Check out the Formula D website for the official qualifying results as well as the brackets for tomorrow. But great course. Looking forward to a great crowd up here, and hopefully we'll get some continued weather that's less than 95 degrees. But I'm not sure that we will. So we'll do our best to stay cool, and the drivers as well.
Yeah, the drivers, they're enduring a lot of the conditions, but really exciting track. It's very fast. It's fun. It's technical. So thank you for joining us. I'm Jared Deanda. This is Ryan Sage. We'll see you tomorrow. Check FormulaD.com for the updates. We're starting earlier tomorrow, so don't have to go into the wee hours, but we are going later. So to find out who wins here at Formula Drift Japan at Okayama, I'm Jared Deanda, Ryan Sage. We'll see you guys tomorrow. See you online or see you another time. Send it.